Good afternoon. This is Marjorie Yowen, and I am your professor for first year experience. What I wanted to do is to take you through the course outline. I don't intend to read it to you because if you're in this class, you can read, but I do want to go over some of the highlights because I know that some of the things get a little bit hidden. Okay. So this is first year experience. Most of the time I'm going to call it FYE. It's just a lot easier. This is a 7-week course. It is the second 7 weeks, so it meets from March 23rd to May 10th. I will show you this when we get close to the calendar. It's weird. The semester starts on a Tuesday and ends on a Monday, so I'm just going to go with it. Okay. So if you need to get in touch with me, there are a few ways that you can do this. You can email me. In some ways, this is the best because I tend to check that all the time. You can call me. There's my work phone number. If you do, it shows up in my email, so that will get to me. If it's something that's really crucial, I would encourage you to either call me or text me on my Google phone number, which should be easy to remember. There are lots of zeros there. There's another way that I will show you when I do the video on, navigating the course, that you can message me within Blackboard also. If you want to meet with me, and when I say meet, I just mean virtually because I am not on campus. I've been doing virtual office hours in WebEx. So I have currently Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11:30 to 12:30. So it's 11:30 a.m. I'm never up that late at night. And Wednesday evenings, I have a class on Wednesday night. So usually it's students from that class who want to stop in, but it's not only for students in that class. So Wednesdays from 6:30 to 7:30. I should put PM in there so you know. I should encourage you to check your Tunxus email regularly. As a Tunxus student, as a student in the community colleges of Connecticut, you have free email and a whole bunch of other stuff, which I will show you at another point. It's great to get into the habit of checking that regularly because the college will, when they communicate with you, that's how they're going to do it. Okay. You can read what the course description, but basically what we're going to be looking at is creating an academic plan for yourself when you're at Tunxus. We'll do just a few things to creating a career plan. This says including a financial component. I always say, yeah, don't look to me for finances, but I'm trying to line up a guest speaker who can talk about that. So we'll see what we can do. Demonstrating information literacy, critical thinking, and effective communication skills. Information literacy, I'm for the most part going to leave to people teaching your writing classes, whether you're in English 093, English 096, or composition. They'll go over information literacy. We will be doing critical thinking in this class, and by effective communication, since this is an asynchronous online class, it's just going to be written communication. We're going to look at using campus resources, or at the very least identifying them, even if we don't get to use them. And then we're going to look a lot at college success strategies and resilient. Whoops. Boy, I jumped. Sorry about that. And resilience strategies. Whoa, that really jumped. Okay. So the textbook, it is a text. It's a textbook that I worked on when I was on sabbatical about 3 years ago, and I keep modifying it. It's a short book. I'm going to release it a chapter at a time, so you don't have to buy it. It's online. I would ask that you have access to reliable internet. I know last semester I had a student who was constantly having problems with internet connection, and it's really hard to do the work if you don't have good internet. It's also a great idea to have a place where you can focus. In one of my classes, at one point I had one class, there are two women who have young children, and this is not an asynchronous class. This is an Elron, the class I'm talking about, Elron class. And when they turn their video, their cameras on, you can always see their kids climbing all over them. I don't think it's really possible to do a good job in a class when you're distracted by your children. I know I couldn't have done it when my children were younger. Okay, so you need to do work for this class primarily in Microsoft Word. Do not go out and buy it. Hopefully by now you know, but if you follow that link, tunxis.edu/student-services email, it will show you how you can access the whole Microsoft Office suite free of charge. You're going to have to understand, if you don't already, how to post assignments in Blackboard, and there are various sites. I will show you some TED Talks. Hopefully you're comfortable using WebEx if you want to meet with me. I can also meet in Teams. All right, and I put here, one of my students who took this first 7-week FYE did all of her work on her phone. Honestly, I don't know how you can do that. The screen is so tiny. And she ran into all kinds of problems because she couldn't see some of the material. So if you are trying to do a lot of your work on your phone, I would encourage you to reach out to me or one of your other professors or your advisor and find out how you can borrow a laptop from Tunxis for this semester. Okay. Okay, do not have class today. Sorry, get out of there. Okay. The class in many ways, it's very repetitive. We do the same kind of activities each week. I figured, while I am not someone who is a slave to routine, I understand how useful that can be in a course that is introducing you to college. So every week, but one, we will have a class. We will have a discussion. Once we get in there, you'll see what that's going to be like. There will be 6 of them, so it's not every week. We're skipping a week, as I said. So the discussions in total will equal 120 points. It's not enough just for you to post. You also have to respond to 2 other students. Right. Every week, again, but one, you will have to do a journal. I will talk about journals more as we go on. Each of those journals is worth 20 points. On each chapter, there will be a quiz. Each quiz is worth 20 points. After each quiz, you're going to do a post-quiz analysis, or I like to call them a PQA because it's quicker to say, which is a reflection. You'll have 6 of those. That's also 120 points. And there are 6 assignments, and I call it called College and Career Exploration. And again, those are worth 20 points. So if you notice, it's everything, 120, 120, 120, which leads to the final assignment. The final assignment it's asking you to look back over the material that we covered and to choose 2 of the main topics and to create some kind of an assignment. You could write an essay. People tend to do essays, even though they hate them. That seems to be the easiest thing to do. You could do a PowerPoint. You could do a vlog. You could, I had a student who wrote a song. I had a student who wrote a play. I had a student who was in computers who wrote I always forget what they're called, who did a flow chart. So we will talk about this a little bit more later on. The letter grades, you're probably familiar with it because you're taking other classes. Let me say a word about academic honesty. Now, I don't see you, so I have no idea if someone else is taking the quizzes for you. I would hope that's not the case. So basically, what I have here and under academic honesty is the issue of plagiarism, which is passing off someone else's work as your own. Just recently dealt with a case of a student who went to a site, took about 5 sentences and put them in the middle of an essay, I guess thinking that I wouldn't notice the difference in the writing style. Now, I cannot guarantee that I catch it 100% of the time, but usually I do know. And what happens in that case, if I find that you have passed off someone else's work as your own, it's a 0 for that assignment. It gets reported to the Dean of Student Affairs. The dean will talk to you. If it happens again, you failed the class. There's no, I'm so sorry. No, it's a 1 strike, or maybe it's 2 strikes and you're out. Okay. I don't go into a class assuming that anyone is going to cheat. And I think that is why when it happens, it infuriates me. So if you get to the point where you're worried about your grade or you're worried about a certain assignment, rather than going to that extreme, get in touch with me and we can work something out. All right. In terms of student conduct, you really need to make sure that you're logging into the course regularly and you are posting your work on time. You post. Sometimes students try to wait till the end of the semester and then hand in a bunch of stuff. That's not going to fly. I won't read it. You just get a bunch of zeros for that one. We will be interacting with each other in the course, and while I am not expecting that you will agree with everything that was said, I expect that if you do disagree, you will do so respectfully. All right, basically, I'm not taking attendance, but I'm not someone who does makeup. If an assignment is due on a certain day, it is due on that day. If you know in advance that something is coming up and you tell me, like, I know we have a quiz on Monday and I have a doctor's appointment, then I would say to you, well, I'm not sure why you have a doctor's appointment at 11:59 in the evening, but let's figure something out. I would encourage you to do work early rather than late. Okay. So basically, of those different kinds of the 5 different kinds of assignments I talked about, I went over this back and forth. So the college and career assignments and the discussions need to be posted on Wednesday. So remember, I'm thinking the week starts on Tuesday. So you read the material, you think about it, you do your college and career assignment, your discussion on Wednesday. The post-quiz analyses, okay, and the discussion responses are due on Fridays, and the quizzes and the journals are due on Mondays. So again, think about it. The week starts on a Tuesday, ends on a Monday. So I figured the journals and the quizzes really are the activities that are the culminating activities that show me what you have learned. Maybe Monday's a crazy day for you, and you do them on Sunday. Maybe Sunday and Monday are crazy days for you. Do them on Friday, do them on Saturday. As long as you get the work in by the day that it is due, it doesn't matter too much when you hand it in. Okay, so everyone in this class, you see I bolded it there, has a virtual missed assignment green card and a virtual late assignment green card. There's a long story behind it. I'll tell you sometime. So let's say you have an assignment and you have a journal, it's due on Monday, but you also have a test on Monday and a major essay due in your history class. You can go in as if you were going to do the assignment, and instead of uploading the work, you type in, I am using my missed assignment green card for this. You get full credit for that one. Or you say, you know what, this Monday is really bad. I'm using my late assignment green card. I will upload the work on, and then you put in, you tell me when you're going to do it. You have one of each. Okay, once you've used them, they're done. But just realize that you do have a little bit of, how could I characterize it? If things get too much, you do have a little bit of an out. Okay, so we're going to look at navigating college, why you're in college. We're going to talk about exploring a path, a career path, an educational path. I don't expect anyone to have it perfect right now. We're going to look at developing strategies and skills for success. What does it take to be a successful college student? And then we're going to look at motivation. I have to tell you, I'm not a big fan of motivation, so I should do motivation /habits We're going to talk about well-being, and then we're going to talk about the idea of resiliency. Do you bounce back or do you sink? Okay. This last page is the course schedule. Now, I like color. I think it's helpful, but you might look at it and say, whoa, it's way too much, in which case, if you decide to print this, just print it out without the color. So I've gone week by week, and I've put what is due when, and if you notice, all of the college and careers are green. The discussions are kind of a pinkish. The discussion responses are a slightly darker color of that. The quizzes are in purple. The post-quiz analysis is in this kind of an orangey brown. The journals are blue. Okay, so you're going to see it just, rinse and repeat. It's over and over again, the same kinds of assignments. I'm trying to think. Do I have it in I threw away my copy. The first week we don't have a journal. One of the weeks we don't do we don't do a quiz. We do a quiz. I don't know. So I've tried to, instead of having 1 week very light, I've tried to take one assignment out of each week, so you don't always have 6 things due. Okay. I hope that made sense. It made sense when I was thinking it. All right. The final assignment, even though the course officially ends on the 10th of May, I am giving you until the 14th to do your final assignment. And again, you know what else is going on in your life when you have final exams, and when is your essay due for other classes. So if you want to do it early, that's great. I cannot accept it late because I got to get grades in. Okay. 2 notes. This is a 7-week class rather than a 14-week class. So of course, you're going, whoa, that's a lot of work. It's intense, but it's only 7 weeks. I figure we can put up with just about anything for 7 weeks. Right? And I want to say one more time that just because work is due on that day does not mean you have to do it on that day. I'm looking right here. Okay, so this week there are 2 things that are due on a Wednesday, 2 things that are due on Friday, and 1 that is due on the Monday. Now, let's say you decide you're going to take Tuesday off from work, or you don't work on Tuesdays. You could do everything on Tuesday, except for the discussion responses. Okay, that's entirely up to you. So one of the things we will talk about, unfortunately, we're not going to talk about it at the very beginning of class, but we will talk about how to manage your relationship with time. Textbooks call it time management. I like what one textbook called it, self-management. Okay, so read this over in more depth. We are going to have a quiz on this, both the hard copy and my explanation of it. And that first quiz is also going to encompass the next video that I'm going to do, which is navigating the course.